try again.
Okay, try again. Is it better?
I think it's better.
Better?
Yes, it's better.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so maybe we should start the broadcast. Yeah, it's already in broadcast mode.
Okay.
Hi everyone, the EcoLabs webinar will begin very soon, so sit back and relax for the time being. We'll begin at 3:30. Hi everyone, welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. I'm sure during this virtual event, we are seeing people from different time zones who are joining us today in this EcoLabs webinar series. So my name is Ryan Jin, and I'm leading the Smart Cities and Future Mobility efforts at the EcoLabs Center of Innovation for Energy, or EcoLabs for short. I'll be hosting this session. EcoLabs, jointly established by Nanyang Technological University, Enterprise Singapore, and Sustainable Energy Association Singapore, SEAS, aims to build and accelerate deep tech energy innovation capability in Singapore to support the nation's future energy transition. This joint initiative aims to help Singapore-based energy startup and SME successfully commercialize and scale their innovation efforts by providing them with the following: translational research, living test bed, innovation programs, funding partners, and community platform. As the COVID situation is ongoing, and today we are at the end of the COVID circuit breaker in Singapore, we have been organizing the EcoLabs webinar series to continue the engagement and interaction with our partners, where we invite industrial experts to offer their insights and respective topics on a weekly basis. This webinar series comprises of 5 themes: Startup Series, Insight Series, Corporate Series, Investor Series, and EcoLabs Series, each focusing on the different aspects of innovation ecosystem. These sessions are part of EcoLabs Insight webinar series to provide industry insight to understand and navigate the innovation journey in the energy sector. You will also learn about the different aspects of the startup ecosystem, market analysis, and what to look out for and where are the different opportunities. Today's webinar is part of a partnership between EcoLabs and Infineon Technology, where EcoLabs is happy to partner with Infineon in co-innovation and joint lab academy in supporting startup and technology innovation. Infineon Technologies is a world leader in semiconductor solutions that make life easier, safer, and greener. Microelectronics from Infineon is the key to a better future. In the 2019 fiscal year, the company reported sales of 8 billion euro with about 41,000 employees worldwide. Singapore is home to the company's Asia-Pacific headquarters, with more than 2,000 professionals in sales, research and development, distribution, and advanced manufacturing, leveraging elements of Industry 4.0. Its regional R&D teams members were involved in areas such as concept and system engineering, IP generation, analog and mixed signal modules design, chip product development, product and test engineering, production, ramp-up management, and application engineering. Today's webinar titled Why Smart IoT Requires Authentication, presented by Mr. Tan Tong Wei, Strategic Director, and Mr. Chu Von Fong, Marketing Manager for Distribution and Partnership Alliance from Infineon Technology. They will share some examples of how you can protect your smart IoT devices and how you can join the Infineon co-innovation space. Mr. Chu Von Fong, Marketing Manager, Infineon Technology, has more than 16 years of working experience in the technology sectors that spans across telecommunication, mobile payment, and embedded security. Mr. Tan Chong Wei has more than 20 years of experience in the semiconductor industry. He believes that the key to any successful business is its people. passionate about collaboration. Tongwei is continuously looking for ways to improve team cohesion to ensure that the best outcome delivered for all stakeholders. So just a little bit of housekeeping. Towards the end of each session, we will have about 10 to 15 minutes for Q&A. If you have any question during the presentation, you can key in your question in the Q&A button, or you can do a raise hand so that we can unmute you to voice your question during the Q&A session. Now, without further ado, we would like to pass the session to Mr. Chu Fong Fong, Marketing Manager, Infineon Technologies.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ryan, for the introduction. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. All right, I'm using my mic right now. Okay. So thanks for joining this webinar session. Right, it's a pleasure. Right, for myself, right, and Tiong Wei, right, to give you an insight, right, into IoT, right, and why IoT requires authentication. Right. So as for Tiong Wei actually will give you a more deep dive into how Infineon actually is engaging, right, new startups, right, in the region, not only in Singapore, and how we actually built, right, some of the successful stories, right, with our startups fellow colleagues. Okay. Some of you might not be aware of what is Infineon, right? Where are we based? What do we do, right? But I believe in a lot of applications that you're using right now, right, there are a lot of components actually comes from Infineon. So, okay, in my next slide, I'll just give you a flavor, right, a video, right, a video of Infineon, right. Please enjoy.
We live in a world that continuously reinvents itself. A world with visionary ideas, inspiring concepts, and smart answers to key questions of our time. How can we preserve our environment? How will our mobility needs be met in the future? How will we communicate? And how can we protect our data? Microelectronics gives answers to these questions. They are the link between the digital and the real world. Semiconductors from Infineon enable technologies to achieve more and consume less, while being accessible to everyone. Our values capture this mission. Commitment, innovation, partnership, performance. We make life easier, safer, and greener for a better future. Infineon, part of your life, part of tomorrow.
Okay, right. So that's the introductory video, right, of Infineon. Okay, so so as Infineon, actually, we are actually a world leader in semiconductor solutions, right? We have actually our own very belief, right, in terms of our values, our vision, and our vision, right? So our main vision, right, at the moment, right, and moving forward is actually we want to be the link between the real and the digital world, right? So we want, as what Ryan mentioned, right, our mission is to make sure that we make life easier, safer, and greener. Just a snapshot of how Infineon is doing. Oops, sorry. Just to give a snapshot of what Infineon is doing, is performing right now, right, and which divisions are being formed, right, within Infineon. So far, with Infineon, we have four major divisions. We have the DSS, where I come from. We have the PSS, who is supplying power and sensor systems, and we have the industrial power control divisions. And last but not least, we have one of the major divisions, revenue generator for Infineon, which is the automotive division. Overall, I think as Ryan has briefly mentioned, we have almost 40,000 employees worldwide, and majority of them actually are based in Asia Pacific. As of last fiscal year, we have achieved close to 8 billion euros of revenues, and which is important, right? And in terms of where are we playing, right? In terms of playing field, we are actually in either in number 1 or number 2 in some of the key sectors, right, including automotive, power, and security ICs.
Winfrey, so sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
The slide is smear again.
Oh, smear again, huh?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Huh? Okay, let me just, I have to stop sharing and start sharing again, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Try that again. Let me know it's better now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay, thanks. Okay, moving forward, some of you probably have heard about the acquisition of Cyprus by Infineon. So the good news is that the deal has been completed, right? And actually, this is a very significant milestone for Infineon, right? So what we are seeing actually, we are when in our go-to-market plan, right, for certain segments, applications, and industries, right, we are actually lacking some of the key components, right? For example, the MCUs, which is the microcontrollers, or some of them are basically the connectivity portion, right? So by acquiring Cyprus, actually we are adding, right, some of these key components to our P2S, our solutions, right, our final solutions, which actually are needed by our end customers, right? So this is why it's important, right, this acquisition take place, right, because we are able actually to provide end-to-end solutions, right, to our end customers, right, from the nodes to the backend, right? So this is very important. Okay. Okay, this is our belief actually, right? Our belief in hardware, right? Where I come from is called embedded security solution. So what we are seeing right now is that there's a lot of opportunities, right? Security opportunities in the market where hardware is required. Let me just give you a flavor, right? Okay. In some of you might heard about Samsung Pay, right? Maybe some of you heard about use Samsung Pay or Apple Pay, right, in the market, right? Do you know that actually Samsung Pay and Apple Pay are actually protected by hardware-based security, right? So it's the applications of Samsung Pay and Apple Pay actually does not reside in the application processor, right? The key applications, the keys, right, the certificates, right, the credentials are actually stored in a hardware-based security, which is tamper-proof. This is important, huh? This tamper-proof. Okay, this is one example of it. Okay. The other example which I can actually give you is your laptop. Okay, your laptop. Okay, do you know that some of the most of the premier laptops, right, or enterprise laptops that you're using right now, it can come from Lenovo or HP or Asus, right? In each of these laptop, there is a security chip that is called a TPM or Trusted Platform Module. Okay. Although most of the PC makers are not really advertising, right, or telling the consumers, right, the significant importance of this hardware-based security, but it's important to know that most of your IT, right, most of the enterprise segments actually make use of this hardware-based security to protect the integrity of the system, right, of the system itself, right, which is important, right, because there are too many actually hacking, right, or phishing, right, opportunities by the hackers out there. Okay, this is a flavor of our Optica family. Okay, I won't go very deep into this, right, but I will focus on these three products. These three products are important to help startups, to help small medium enterprise, right, to do certain key applications, right, to increase your security level, right, whether you are connecting to the cloud, whether you are planning to protect your brand, or simply whether you want to actually do a seamless connectivity to the cloud, right, or to a certain network operator. Okay. So we have the Optica Trust B, the Optica Connect, and Optica Trust M. The Optica Trust B is actually a very basic authentication chip, which actually we sold in billions, okay, to ensure, right, customers can really protect their brand through a very basic one-way authentication. For Optica Connect is our turnkey solutions for embedded SIM. Right, so I will describe more in my later slides. But last but not least is the Optica Trust M. This particular turnkey solution is actually developed or designed, right, specifically to address connected devices to the cloud. Okay. Let's discuss a bit more or dive a bit more deeper into the Optica Trust B. Okay, Optica Trust B to me or to Infineon is actually a small wonder, right? It's actually one of the best-selling turnkey solution in the market today. Since 2010, we have sold more than 1 billion pieces of these small devices, right, to the market. It has extremely small footprint. How small it is 1 by 1 times 1.5 millimeter, right? So most of our customers are very careful, right? If you drop onto the floor, right, into the carpet, right, there's 99% chance you won't be able to find it, right? Last but not least, right, the important thing about this product is that even though it's so small, right, we actually integrated the asymmetric authentication to reduce the BOM cost. 10 years ago, right, we have competitors actually came up with similar products or similar solutions, but they go with symmetric authentication. That means for legacy products, you have to put 2 chips in the host and in your accessory to share the same key. The downside is if one of the keys are leaked or hacked, the entire systems, the entire batch, right, will be compromised. Unlike the Optica Trust B, it's based on asymmetric authentication, meaning there's only one security chip is required to be integrated into the accessories, while the host, well, on the application processor, we will give you a host library for free. That means in terms of BOM costs, you are reducing it by half. Right, that's why it's gaining a lot of popularity and momentum in the market. I will let you know some of the success stories, some of the big customers, the big brands that which are using this particular product, right, to protect their brand. Here are 3 applications or 3 use cases which are which actually use this Optica Trust B, right, to ensure, right, their IP, intellectual property, their brand, right, their revenue stream, their business model are always protected by a hardware-based security, which is the Optica Trust B. Let's look at the first one, BMS. BMS actually stands for Battery Management System. We have a customer in Vietnam who is actually one of the biggest conglomerate in Vietnam. Actually, last 2 years, they came out with an idea to, or they have a plan, right, to mass produce an e-scooter, right, in Vietnam. So it's a significant milestone for this customer. And Infineon is actually was working closely with this customer, right, and also through our distributors to help integrate the Optica Trust B into the battery management system. Okay. There are reasons why the Trust B is used, right, for battery management system. Okay, so one of the reasons is that they always need to ensure that the batteries, right, because before I go into that direction, I need to let you know that the customers has an idea to do battery swap, right, in the coming futures. So basically, the e-scooter rider, right, can go to any pit stop, right, any stops, right, to exchange, right, their batteries. So they can do rental of the batteries, or they can even actually charge up, right, the batteries, right, whenever they need, right. So, but they are scared. They are scared that actually imitation of batteries, right, or battery packs, right, by a third party, unwanted third party, right, flooding the market. So this by having these unauthenticated or non-original batteries actually can hurt their brands, which they want to avoid, right, at all possible costs. That's why adding this particular chip, right, is a no-brainer to this customer. Secondly, in the mobile phone space, actually, we are working, or we are actually supplying, right, this optical trust-B to one of the largest handset maker in the world today. Although I can't name who is this customer, right? Yeah, it's among the top three in the world today, right? Okay, so we did ask the customer, what is the reason you want to put this chip, right, and this small chip in your battery pack, right? So they give me a simple answer, right? They realized that when customers actually send, right, use handsets to their service centers, in a lot of time, the service centers technicians actually found out the batteries are non-original batteries. This actually can compromise either the battery can explode, right, or it can actually reduce or charge with reduced performance. This is not what the customer wants. The customers intend, right, to have the customers actually experience, right, the best product, right, from them, right? That's why having this battery or this authentication chip for these battery makers or these handset makers is vitally important. Okay. Third, the water filter. Do we know that the water filter market, it's probably one of the biggest market for water filter is based in India, right? Some customers told me it's India or China or Thailand or Indonesia, but no, it's India, right? In India alone, you can see there are more than 15 to 20 water filter makers or OEMs, right, supplying to 1 billion people in India. Okay. But 10 years ago, we realized that the water filter makers are actually not making a lot of money, right, from water filters, right? Which is impossible, right? You look at it, right? Because you can actually think of water filter as a printer. It's a printer. In every water filter, you need to change the cartridges. Same or for your printer, right? You have to actually change your printer cartridges as well. And in a lot of cases, the OEMs of the water filters allow a third party, a third party agent, right, to manage, right, their end customer. And in many cases, end customers are being sold, right? They are being cheated, right, of fake water cartridges. So that's why the customers at the end of the day, they realize that they have to include some form, right, of authentication chip to ensure this practice stops. That's why they have chosen Infineon, right, to work closely with them to redesign the system, right, to include an authentication chip into all their models of their water filter, right? Okay. So this is actually the reason why we actually chosen asymmetric authentication or cryptography, right, in optical trust-B. Okay. First of all, as you see, if I mentioned clearly just now, right, if you use a symmetric, there is you need to have two chips of similar keys, right? For example, in the drone itself as a host, or even in the battery. Okay, two chips, right? And both share the same secret key to decrypt and then to encrypt. Okay, but for asymmetric cryptography, right, on the battery, you are just integrating one security chip from Infineon, and on the host side, which is the drone, you will get a host library for free from Infineon. Okay, and in every chip or every system, we are talking about a different key, right? So meaning if one system is compromised or one chip is compromised, right, in the battery, this only one system will be compromised. It's not the entire batch of the optical trust-B, right? So this is very important. just give you a flavor of how the authentication works, right, between the host and the accessory. So this is a host. Okay, I just take an example of this is a water cartridge or water filter itself. This is a water filter, which is the host, and this is the cartridge of the water filter. Right. Okay, so the communication between the host and the optical transmit or the accessory is through a single wire interface. Right, a very simple interface, right, 2-wire, right, which can actually communicate very nicely, right, between the host and the accessory. And you realize that in the optical transmit, which is integrated into the accessory, there is a ECC secret key and an ODC. ODC stands for Optiga Digital Certificate. And this certificate is actually signed, right, by Infineon. Right? You see that there's such a sign by Infineon. Assuming you're buying this, right, or you claim to have bought this optical transmit from a third party, from online, right, from an undisclosed vendor, right, one thing you'll notice that the signature might not be there, right? It might not be signed by Infineon, right? So if the signature is not signed by Infineon, straight away the authentication will fail, because in the host library which we are given to you through a secure channel, when you integrate into your host library, you have to verify the signature in the beginning. If the signature is not verified or is a different signature, then the whole authentication will fail. That's why it's important, right, for you, right, to actually work closely with Infineon, because Infineon will guide you, right, will teach you. Even our distributors who are very well trained, right, will guide you and teach you how to integrate this, how to optimize your design, how to make sure the authentication flow works, right, before you go for production. After that, the host will generate a challenge and response, right, which will send back to the optical transmit in the accessory to generate the same response. Okay. The final steps, by verifying the response, right, you can either reject or accept the authentication. So you can see from this diagram, the authentication flow is actually very simple. Okay. Our customers actually varies. Okay, so some customers spend probably less than 2 months to complete the whole design. Some better ones actually can complete the whole design in less than 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay, so this is a quick snapshot, okay, of our optical transmit. It's based on a very small packaging, 1.1 times 1.5 millimeter. It's based on asymmetric one-way authentication with a unique key pair, right, in every single chip. Okay, and it's based on ECC 131 key size, key length. Interface-wise, as I mentioned earlier, it's based on single wire interface, which is supported by a lot of microcontroller. Okay, and it has a very tiny bits of MCU or memory space, I can say. Okay, this memory space, although it looks a bit small, but to certain customers it's important. I can give you an example, right? Some customers actually use this small memory size to insert, right, which region does it go to, right? Which product they go to. Because from there, you can read out, right? Your customers can read out, your distributor can read out, right, this particular memory size, okay? So one example of my customers actually, he actually has a product which is distributed globally. So he wants to make sure that the pricing level, right, it's managed appropriately, right, between different regions, right? He might have sold a bit more higher cost, right, in higher price in Europe and North America, but to countries like in Southeast Asia, he might reduce the price. But he doesn't want this. The customers doesn't want the product to be sold on a specific region. That's why he put this content, right, into the user memory. So for the startups or for you who has intention to actually to do the same, you can also include this right into the memory size as well. Okay, as for the design process, right? Usually most of my customers will purchase this online or through our distributors. We call it a optical trust B application board. Yeah, so it's actually a board which you can plug out. You can plug out two optical trust B from this board. Okay, one is here and the other one is here, right? Right. So from here you can actually do some kind of a jump wire, right, to the MCU, and then you actually can just port the host library into the MCU, and then you can do some kind of a design in process. Pretty fast, right? Pretty fast, right? Don't worry, right? Most of the support, right? You can actually come back to Infineon or to our distributors. Okay, next, I want to introduce you to the Optical Trust M. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, M is actually is a key product for us because it's targeted for connected devices out there, right? So a lot of products, a lot of IoT companies, IoT products are actually slowly, I would say slowly getting connected to the cloud, right? Whether is to Amazon, right, to Microsoft, even some to the iCloud, right? So we realize there's a need for such product in the market, especially hardware-based security product. Okay, that's why we designed this product, Optical Trust M, and we officially released this product last November in 2019. Okay, so the Optical Trust M actually is one of the main reason, right, is actually to do a cloud provisioning, right, the secure cloud provisioning the easy way, right? Because I think there's a lot of way to actually to do onboarding process, right? But we want to simplify the whole process of doing this onboarding, right, with our product. That's why in a lot of applications, right, whether it's in ICT, okay, or in smart homes, okay, smart homes, Industry 4.0, even in smart cars, right, everything will be connected to the cloud, right? So a lot of my customers have already started or already have this vision to connect to the cloud, and they find actually the Optical Trust MEM is actually the right fit for them, right? First of all, it's a turnkey solution as well. So meaning there is no need for customers to scratch their head, right? All right, how to develop the firmware, how to develop the operating system on my controller, right? Okay, we will actually give you the full turnkey solution, exactly the same as Optical Trust B. Okay, meaning you just have to integrate the Trust M, right, into your device, to your MCU, right, to the I2C channel, right, and then there is a guidance for you which is available on GitHub. Okay, some of the use case you can see here, right? Okay, I think there are probably around 6 to 7 use cases here, but I'll just talk about probably 1 or 2. Okay, the first one is just authentication, right, or even mutual authentication. Okay, so some of customers who has developed the Optical Trust M, right? Okay, what's their intention is that they want to actually do a mutual authentication between the clouds and the IoT devices in the field, right? So this can be achieved, right, with the Optical Trust M, right? So because we are sharing a secret key, right, a private and public key, right, between the cloud and the IoT devices. Please take note that for the Optical Trust M, right, all the private key will never leave the hardware-based security, will never leave the Optical Trust M, right? Only the public key will be shared, right, with the cloud. But the private key will always stay inside the Optical Trust M. Okay. The second use case, which is quite popular nowadays, is called secure updates. Okay. There are customers actually who intend, right, to update the firmware, right, of their IoT devices in the field. Okay, but they have to make sure that the updating of this firmware is through a secure channel. So the Optical Trust M actually allows that to happen, because what we are doing is that we are establishing, right, a secure connection, right, from the IoT devices to the cloud. Okay. So this is important, right? So this is an important use case as well, right? Right. So next, I will talk about the cloud support. Right. So far, I think we have been working quite closely with three of these popular cloud providers out there, right, in the market: the AWS, the Alibaba Cloud, or even the Microsoft Azure. Okay. So we have the necessary product with the updated firmware, okay, to support all these three clouds. Okay, you might be aware, right? How do I get supported, right? How do I actually get all these documentations, right? How do I get all the examples, right? All the support. Do not worry, because everything is publicly available online. You might see here, right? Okay, if you Google, right, you just have to type in Infineon Optical Trust M GitHub, right? Everything is available on GitHub. Okay. Okay. Once you go into this link, right, we will actually be we publicly publish, right, all the examples, all the documentations, right, online. So for customers or for startups, right, there is no need to scratch your head, right, where to find those information, right? You don't even have to go to our website, right, because you can just actually go to this link, right, which is the Optical Trust M GitHub link, right, and everything will be available on there, right? So we are even updating this regularly, right, adding new examples, new APIs, right, new documentations to help our customers, to help our partners, right, to simplify or to expedite, right, their design-in process. Okay. Okay, this is the kit that you can actually purchase either online or through our distributors, right? Similarly with the Optical Trust B, right? This kit actually can help you, right, to give you some kind of demonstrations, and at the same time, right, you realize that this particular board, right, actually is the Optical Trust M, right? So you can actually plug out this particular board, and then, oh, sorry, it's here. This one, it should be here. Yeah, this one, the red color one. This one. We call it the shield to go. You can actually plug out this from the evaluation kit, and then you can actually integrate this, right, into your microcontroller easily, right, through the I2C channel, right? So from here, just get back to here. From here, I also want to actually emphasize that the host library is also available here as well in the GitHub, right? So it's open source, right? So there's no need to worry how to get it, how difficult to get support, because everything is publicly available here, right? Of course, if you need further support from Infineon, do not worry. You can either come to us or get back through our distributor as well. Right. Okay, this is the snapshot of the I would say the very brief product introduction of the Optical Trust M. One of the good I would say key selling point actually is based on common criteria EL6+. Actually, there's not many product in the market today where the hardware actually is certified, right, by common criteria. But Infineon realized that we have to give the best product, right, to our customers. That's why we are using the same product that is used for banking and for government ID, right, for this particular solution. At the same time, it actually supports X.509 certificates as well, which is actually quite popular in the market today. Okay, and in terms of certificates, right? Okay, some customers, okay, even including startups as well, you might have your own, right, your own preferred certificates. Okay, do not worry, right? There are ways for us to help you to inject your own certificate into the Optical Trust M. Okay. If you buy samples from Infineon, Infineon actually will sign, right? We'll give you a signed certificate from Infineon, but you can use it for testing for sure, right? But for mass production, it's actually highly recommended to use your own certificates, right, to differentiate yourselves, right, in the market, right, so that you don't actually have a duplicate or use the same certificate as your competitors or your customers. Okay. We support two range of temperature. We call it the standard temperature and extended temperature, right? Customers who do not need extended temperature, right, can always go for the standard temperature, right, which is up to 85 degrees Celsius. But for certain use cases and applications which actually demands, right, industrial grade, right, do not worry, we have the industrial grade packaging or version, right, to fit your need as well. It's slightly bigger, right, than the Optica Trust B. Size-wise, is around 3 by 3 mm, slightly bigger, right, but still fits into a lot of use cases, right, of our customers. Next, I want to introduce you to Optica Connect. Okay, Optica Connect is actually our turnkey solution for embedded SIM. Okay, this is a very different. I would say in the market today, right, or in the IoT world today, more and more devices will be connected, right, all around the world, right. For startups, right, you never know your products will be shipped to which country, which region, which continent, right. Most of my customers today, their products actually are being shipped all across the world, right? But one thing they are facing, right? How do I get connected, right? Who is paying? How do I get paid? How do I get data, right? How to get cheap data, right? How is it roaming? Is it local data, right? Which operator am I talking to? All these are question marks. All these actually are pain points of our customers, or my customers at least. I'm sure some of you will face the same problem as well, right? Once you start to expand, right, your business start to expand to sell more, right, to customers in another region. Okay. By 2025, we are seeing at least more than 20 billion devices will be connected, right, or at least will have the capability to connect to be connected at least to the internet. Yep. Okay, this is a study, right, from Ericsson. 70% of wide area IoT devices will use cellular technology in 2022. Okay, we are seeing the trend right now, right? So there are so many customers in various applications, right? We actually there's a demand for embedded SIM, and that's why I think last month we officially announced this product, right, to the market. Okay, that's why we call it the Optica Connect. It's a turnkey solution from Infineon as well, right? So there is no need for you to worry, right? To write an operating systems, right? On how to get the tools and so on, right? You just have to purchase the embedded SIM from Infineon, right? And we will make it easy for you, right, to deploy your devices in the world. An easy way, right, to benefit from cellular IoT. This is important, right? Okay, it's easy to buy. First of all, it's easy to buy, right? So you just have to go through one channel, right, which is either through Infineon or through our distributors, right, to purchase the embedded SIM. It's easy to design, right, because right the packaging itself is based on MF2, right, or VQFN, right, and we actually can work quite seamlessly with a lot of cellular modem in the market today, right? Whether it's from Telit, whether it's from QuickTel, or Nordic, you know. So most of these cellular models, cellular modems actually can be supported by our Optica Connect. Easy to deploy because, right, you just have to have one chip, one embedded SIM can address more than 600 operators worldwide. How it's being done? We are actually working with Tata Communication, right, to insert their bootstrap application, okay, so that customers can deploy their IoT devices all around the world without having to worry, right, which operator to talk to, right, and where does it go to?
I think
Yes?
your slides got a bit blur again. So could you just
Okay, sure.
unshare and share again?
Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, no worries.
Unfortunately, having this problem. Yep. Try again.
Anyway, for the interest of time, could you just go a bit faster because
okay,
sure.
sure.
On it. So
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yep. Okay. So we are working with Tata, right, to actually to deploy this this connectivity portion. Okay. So all in all, actually, it's a turnkey solution, deployable, quite easy to deploy, right, in the market. Okay, so you can actually put it into across your IoT devices that can be deployed globally. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So just to recap a bit, there's a bootstrap, right, in the eSIM itself, right, and actually, Tata actually will help you to actually to determine, right, which operator you log on to, right, after you subscribe to their data plan, right. So it's as easy as that, right? So you don't have to worry about talking to different operators. Yeah. So this is just a snapshot, right, of the Optia Connect, right. Please keep in mind that this actually is a GSMA compliant product, right? So it's not a proprietary product, right, that we are selling. So this is really according to the GSMA specification. I think I'm coming to the last slide, okay, which is the success stories for some startups, right? Because they asked me that please quote at least 1 or 2 customers, right? There is startups that actually is which actually benefit from our solution. I'll just name these 2, right? Emputech and Bawakane, Bawatech as well. Okay, so Emputech is actually using one of our security solution to actually secure, right, their cloud connectivity from their device to Amazon Web Service. And Bawakane actually similarly, right? They are actually producing one of the smart cane for the blinds, right? They are also using the one of our solution to actually to secure, right, their the IoT from the cane, right, back to the Microsoft Azure as well, right? So these are two of the startups actually you can refer to, right? Which I think Tiong Wei will explain in further detail. Yeah, yeah. So I pass the floor to Tiong Wei.
All right, Ryan, do you want to go to the question first or should I proceed?
No worries, you can proceed first. We will do the Q&A at the end.
Okay, all right, great, thanks. Okay, first, thank you, Hui, and also thank you to EcoLab for having us here. Let's talk about the Infineon co-innovation space. So as you can see in this picture, this is the co-innovation space that actually Infineon building. Yeah, let's move on to the next slide. Yeah, okay. So before I jump into the detail of a co-innovation space, maybe I could explain to you guys the the kind of engagement that we're actually doing in Infineon, right? So you can see the first step ladder is that as you go higher, basically is a higher touch point. So at the bottom is that we actually working a lot of hackathons with universities. We looking at hackathon with a customer and also with distributors, right? So you can this hackathon that the recent hackathon that we did is with the, our customers, LG. So actually, Bawa, this now you saw the Bawa came. Basically, they actually one of the winners of the hackathon, and then we actually brought them into our co-innovation space. Yeah. So on the second ladder step is actually that partners with the incubators and accelerators, something that we are working now together with EcoLabs. Okay. The third one is actually we also do one-on-one project with the startups as well. Okay. So basically, this is also something for us to understand the whole system learning process together with our engineers. And finally is the co-innovation space. This is basically the highest touch point where we actually working closely with the startups. Okay, so we will co-develop together on a product, and then we will go to market together. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so back to the co-innovation space, right? So this co-innovation space is actually located, as I said, it's the same building with our engineers. So you guys will have a lot of interactions with our engineer on a daily basis. Okay, so we have this space that roughly can accommodate about 4 to 5 startups, and yeah, one of the how to say one of the key important things that are working with join this co-innovation space is that you will basically need to work together with us on some projects. All right. So this project is basically that you have to use our product actually and working on your products. Okay. So Infineon will not charge any rental fee on taking any equity share at all. Okay. The startup that we assess is actually based on the maturity of the startup. We usually would like to have a startup who actually have a product that they wish to go to market. All right, and also we will evaluate based on the innovation, on the tech competence, and also the business potential. Okay, let's move on to the next slides. Right. So the co-innovation space is already almost 2 years. We will celebrate our second year's anniversary in 2020, and we have the launch of the co-innovation space in 2018. So as you can see that the first launch that we started, that we actually have 4 startups with us: Shuttle, Punify, Ampotech, and Synergy. Right. Shuttle is a company who actually focus on personal mobility space, and Punify is the AI company who actually focus on chip design optimization. Yeah. So for the Ampotech, basically they actually the energy monitoring company who actually monitor energy usage in real time. So that's why they require some of the smart security to protect the data. And Synergy, I think, is well known. It's also one of the startup in EcoLabs. They're actually working on a wireless charging system. So Ampotech and Synergy already graduated from this program. So maybe in the next slides, I would like to share with you guys a video about the reason about why they, the reason of how they celebrate or how they graduated from this program.
Being part of the co-innovation space has really helped us a lot over the past year. Being part of the program has helped us to get more visibility for the company.
We realized that Infineon being very flexible in how to work with a startup. Infineon opened up doors for us to do testing pilots and also introducing us to a potential distributor.
It's really helped us to connect with different stakeholders and sort of position ourselves better to grow in the future.
I think for the new startup that work with Infineon, please be as open as possible.
I think it's very important to have a clear idea going in about what you want to get out of the program. So establishing a very clear understanding from both sides about what the project entails, what kind of resources need to be invested is very important.
Okay, so sorry about the quality and the sound of the video. It must be bandwidth. So, all right. So yes, now in 1920, we actually we have 3 more startups actually join us. Number 1 is Spectronic, Exalogic, and Bawakane. I think the slides is smear.
Me again. Unfortunately, sorry. So sorry. Let's try again.
Okay, great. Yeah, so Spectronic is basically, we are actually working on the hydrogen fuel cell. We wanted to go into the automotive product, so that's why we actually proposing them our automotive product to them. And Exalogic is actually working on a solution on video processing on the edge, basically on the AI aspect. And Bawakane, I think, we just explained, is basically they're using our security product into their product as well. All right, so next slide. Hey, why do actually startup need to work with Infineon, right? So I understand that startup actually require 3 key important things: is the capital, coaching, and business partner, right? Capital, basically you can either get from private VC or from EcoLabs, so we can do some funding as well. So Infineon can provide coaching and business partner, as we are actually the world leader in the semiconductor solution. We can actually help startup in terms of technical expertise, and also bringing the know-how of the right product to go to the market. We actually give this kind of training to our startup when they actually on board. So we actually learn about what is how to go to market, kind of business canvas. So yeah, we give all these facilities or this kind of training to them. So as Infineon is also a trusted partner around the globe, we have a lot of connections or know-how of how to bring your product and bring to from production to go to market. So we also have the sizable partners and customer network, as well as the distribution channel, right? I think this is also very important. That if your product solution is how to say, which is relevant to our customer, we will introduce that to them as well. And we also partners you guys with our distribution channel, right? So because sometimes you guys actually need a small kind of sample, so it's very difficult to get small sample size, right? So we partner with our distributor able to fulfill that by giving you guys a smaller samples. Okay, next slide. Right. Okay. So since that you guys are mostly from the startups, I will just focus on the startup this role. So you can see that what kind of product, I mean, what kind of support that we give. We provide data sheets, specs, samples, and reference design eval boards. So now we mentioned that about the eval board. Yeah, this is something that we can actually provide for you guys to do prototyping, right? As I said, we partner with distributor. We have Aero and FNet with us to give you guys the support. All right. So besides that, we also advise on some of the system design and components, right? When you're on board. So we also have some mentorship and with our experienced executive and the technical expert as well. So this is very good opportunity for startup who are wanted to know more about how to say enhance their product and also the understanding about the market. Right. Next step. All right, good. Yeah, this is the slide to show that how Infineon actually partners with our ecosystem, right? Kind of engagement. We can see that there's a lot of partnership in India and in Korea and also in Melbourne. That's something that we are looking at. So this doesn't mean that I mean, if you want to expand your product into different market, of course we have the connectivity or the network to propose to you guys as well. Okay, so next slide, yeah, so that is my last slide. If you want to know more about the collaborations with us or more product details, yeah, just give us a call, and then we have my colleague as well, Adrian know here to support you on these requests as well. Yeah, with that, I would like to pass to Ryan.
All right, thank you so much for the sharing. I think it's very informative. So as we go into the Q&A session, if you all have any question for the audience, if you have any questions, you can feel free to drop the question in the Q&A box or click on the raise hand button so that I can take note. So we have some questions from the floor. Romans, would you like to voice your questions yourself? So I'm allowing you to talk. You can just unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hello, guys.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Thanks for insights. And we have questions. I represent the technology company for A2 Solutions. We are partners of EcoLabs, just signing our research collaboration agreement. And we have some investigation and project regarding using the TE, Trusted Execution Environment, in application to the different distributed system like DLT or Internet of Things system. And is this direction suitable for Infineon visions, and can we get some feedback, thoughts, or maybe possible collaboration between our company regarding to this idea, to our ideas and this solution?
Okay, sure. Thanks for the question. I will answer this. Yes, there's I think for many years there's a argument, right, between whether to use hardware-based security or software-based security. And typically, I think when you talk about TE, is actually moved towards the software-based. There's no doubt in certain applications, the TE or software-based security, it's good enough, I would say. Okay, but it depends on your use case, right? Okay, so because why we are endorsing hardware-based security? First of all, we need to ensure we actually ask our customers, right, how much do you value your design, right? If you think that your design is worth to be copied, right, or your keys, right, that is part of your design, right, even though it's being hacked or being copied, it's fine, right, because there's no way the customers can replicate your system. Then I think it's okay. You can go for the most basic security level, right? But most of our customers have this problem, right? Say that, yeah, I spend so much resources and money, right, to develop this particular design, right? But before I even mass produce it, right, I realized that most of my designs has been copied by a third party. Usually how this is done is that the keys actually are stored in the MCU or maybe some in the TE, right? And in a lot of cases, when they send, right, their design, right, for a third party to mass produce, this is the weakest link, right? The keys are being stolen, right, without the customers doing it, right? So we always encourage our customers, right, to put all the keys, credentials in the hardware-based security, right? Think of the hardware-based security as your safe, as your safe in the bank, right? So, but nevertheless, right, TE actually plays an important part as well, right? Because in a lot of MCUs as of today, right, whether it's ARM-based, right, TE is widely used, right, by a lot of our customers, right, when they kickstart a design, right? But how they did it is that moving forward, they always think that, okay, how do I protect it or better secure my design, right? This is where the hardware-based security comes into the picture. Okay, do I answer your questions?
Yeah. Right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. There's a question in the Q&A box. Leonard, would you like to ask the question in live as well? I'm allowing you to talk. You can unmute yourself and voice your question.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for your webinar. It was very interesting to know more about Infineon. We already have used some Infineon microchips in our IoT R&D activities. So I'm from Ukraine, 42 Solutions, and I'm wondering, do you have any activities according to blockchain implementation of digital identity? And if yes, can we start from some cooperation with sharing some materials about what we already did, and how can we maybe add some value to your research and in your activities? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your question. Yes, we did kickstart certain blockchain activities, but not within the embedded security group, but within the smart card group, right? So we have a blockchain kit that you can purchase from either online or from our distributors. I can give you a link to that particular blockchain kit. Since you're based in Ukraine, right? I can actually introduce you, right, or link you up with my colleague in our headquarters in Munich. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What you can do is that you can drop me an email. How do I get this email? Or you can put a chat. Then I will write you an email on this topic.
Okay, maybe you can write to me because maybe you go to previous slides.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I can write to okay.
Yeah, then I can actually follow up from there as well.
Okay. Yeah, you can also write to Tiong Wei. Yeah.
I just have already sent my email to question stack, so you can check it out.
Okay.
So waiting for your details, guys, and sending you again, and let's move forward.
No problem. Yep.
Good day. Bye.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much. I think we run out of time. I am sure there's still a lot of questions. So if any of the audience have any questions, feel free to drop an email to us, and we are happy to connect you with Tiong Wei and Vifong separately. If not, you can actually drop Tiong Wei an email directly from the email address on the screen right now. So as we come to the end of today's EcoLabs webinar session, let's give a round of applause to all the presenters, both presenters, the audience, and people behind the scenes to make this webinar possible. At the end of this webinar, when you log out, there will be a survey for you to give feedback to us on how to enhance our future webinars. So please take part in the survey so that we can come up with better webinar and more relevant webinar for all. So please kindly also follow us on the EcoLab LinkedIn page and join us live next Monday on the 8th of June, 3:30 p.m. for the next EcoLab webinar series, Continental's Journey in Driving Impact with Startup by Mr. Konstantin Neho. incubation and communication lead from the Co-Pace Continental. So meanwhile, thank you again for Chongwei and for sharing your insight with the audience, and thank you all audience to be with us for today's webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.